Does the name Joaquin Phoenix pop up in your mind when you hear the phrase doing justice to a role? Well, it sure did for us. Like all fans hoped and rather prayed for, the humble actor did not let Heath Ledger down. And so did the whole crew of Joker for bringing viewers into the twisted mind of Gotham's clown prince of crime. Praises for the flick continue to resonate, and we at Movie House would forever continue to back them. With that said, allow us to point to a few, albeit silly yet hardly noticeable mistakes that crept into the movie. Here are 17 mistakes that we found with Joker. Before we go ahead, a customs mandates, spoilers ahead folks, and if you haven't already seen the movie, go witness the masterpiece first and then come back. Mistake 1. First off, here is Kenny's music shop that sadly going out of business owing to the crippling economic and societal conditions in Gotham in 1981. Little do the owners know that what's about to happen to poor Arthur will set in motion a chain of events that culminates to the origin of the Joker. However, what caught our eyes were the guitars that were on display at Kenny's. Those are 2018 D'Angelico guitars. Mistake 2. Over here, the bashing of the everything must go on Arthur is just the onset and comparatively milder of the injustices that are done to him. But if you look carefully, you notice that the sign actually breaks a second before it hits Arthur. Mistake 3. At this point, if you were emotionally touched by Arthur's plight, you'd fail to notice that his position changes between shots as he gets beat up. Well, moving is natural, right? True, but not quite in the way these shots contextualize. Take a look at how he's laying on the ground with the vagabonds kicking him from behind. And a split second later, his position changes and the kids are around him. Well, that could happen were it not for the next shot, as the kids run away and Arthur is at the original position. Mistake 4. To get the error here, we'd have to throw in a little bit of facts around what is pretty standard and popularly known in the pediatrics world as the Broslow tape. What you see behind Arthur are color-coded equipment drawers based on the Broslow tape. The color coding, and if you notice, the size variations of each drawers are intentional to house treatment equipment and medication that matches the dosage meant for each child based on their age, size, and height. Well, the funny thing is that it wasn't until 1985 that the tape was first produced for mass use. And Joker's story setting, as mentioned earlier, is 1981. Mistake 5. Over here, notice the godforsaken French fry on the floor. The Wall Street guy shouldn't have thrown that at the woman. Well, it disappears in the very next shot. Mistake 6. And the Wall Street guys have got what they asked for, but with more bullets than what a typical revolver can fire. Yes, one headshot, first guy down. 2 body shots, second guy down. 2 shots to the leg of the third guy. Ouch! Arthur has 1 bullet left. But no, he shoots the third guy 3 more times. And we're pretty certain he didn't reload. Mistake 7. Over here, notice how the body of Wall Street Guy 3 changes position. Take a closer look at his left hand. Mistake 8. And here is another big time period mistake. In 1981, poor Arthur and his mother would not have afforded an automated phone answering machine. It cost between $250 and $450 back in 1981 and was pretty rare. Moreover, that answering machine looks out of time from a model standpoint. Mistake 9. In this rather dark scene where Arthur kills his mother by suffocating her with the pillow, and suffocation must cause tachycardia or at least an increasing heart rate, in which case, going by the electrocardiography beeps, the nurses should have been alerted. And Arthur would have had problems while leaving the crime scene. Rather than the imaginary applause, reality would have depicted nurses rushing into the murder scene. Mistake 10. This mistake is along the lines of that godforsaken French fry. Notice how Arthur leaves the cigarette on the ashtray? Well, its position changes, as you can see. Could it have been the wind? Or did Joaquin take a puff off of it during a retake? No one would know. Mistake 11. And here's the dance that exhibits Arthur's persona transitioning wholly into the Joker. What caught our eye, apart from the moves, is the cigarette. You can see him throw it very early on, yet when the cops arrive, we see him blowing smoke from the same cigarette. And mysteriously enough, the cigarette is gone again. Mistake 12. This error deals with the sound effects. Shh. Listen closely to the subway train that starts moving just as the police officers get in.
Train! Hold it! Get out! Next stop, Bedford Falls.
Well, the sound resembles the acceleration sound of an R-143 subway car, which didn't exist until 2001. The subway car shown is perhaps an R-32 or something. Mistake 13. Get ready for some more time period mix-ups. Here is a Kellogg's ad playing with Keanu Reeves. Well, that ad didn't come out until 1987. Mistake 14. And again, in the same shot, you can see the advertisement of the Energizer Bunny. Many of you may be familiar with the mascot. Well, that mascot wasn't introduced until 1988. Mistake 15. And yet again, look closely as the police car pulls out of the studio and makes a turn. An empty New York City bike share rack can be seen on the right side. Mistake 16. And in this twist-inducing scene, the ambulance that hits the squad car is actually a 4th-generation Ford Econoline that came out in 1992. Mistake 17. And lastly, as Joker begins to receive the first wave of his infamous glory from the chaotic and rather violent mob, notice that dude holding a bat right in front of the Joker. But when the shot changes, there are no bats in the air in front of him. There is one dude that's holding it horizontally near the ambulance. We're pretty sure that it's not the same person. And that's all the errors we could point. Let us know in the comments if we've missed any. There were some instances in the movie where the crew was careful not to omit continuity errors. For instance, check this out yourself. When Joker throws the cigarette as he makes his entrance into the Billy Murray show, we can see the crew of the show picking it up from behind the curtain. As fault pointers, we must admit that that's pretty brilliant. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.